Good morning. I'm a mess today. Hello. Just getting back from vacation. It had left me all kinds of exhausted, so I am looking kind of rough this morning. So don't mind that, but we're still going to have a good yoga class. I'll just wait for a few people to log on. Morning, morning, morning. My apologies. I look a mess today. Getting back to my work mode this morning was not easy. Especially because my flight was delayed and delayed and delayed again. So took me a couple hours. I was late and then only had yesterday to get all my errands done. So it is not, I am not organized as what I usually am, because I am tired after 8 hours in an airport on Saturday. But I made it home. We'll get started, and if anyone else logs in, they can just check in with us. Good morning. Oh. Thanks, Erica. Yes, I had really fun in a snowy hot tub. It was gorgeous in Colorado, but don't know if I ever want to be in a Colorado blizzard ever again. That was very frightening. I got gorgeous pictures, but not fun when you're at 9,200 elevation trying to drive down a mountain with snow. I mean, we're used to snow, but this was a whole nother level. Okay, let's get started. We're going to do some wide leg stretches today. We're going to start with our neck and shoulders. I know mine is all jacked up. We will get started with that, and then we're going to go into our wide leg stretches. From here, we're just going to simply close our eyes and pull our shoulders away from the ears. Just start to pull them down and away, noticing any tension in the back of our neck, in our shoulder blades. And then we'll gently let the chin roll to chest. We're going to keep drawing the shoulders down, adding some more space. And then we're just going to roll the right ear to right shoulder. Left shoulder presses down. Keep pulling the left shoulder down. Just putting a little space into our left side. We'll release the left shoulder. Chin rolls back to chest. We pause. Draw the shoulders down. And roll left ear to left shoulder. Right shoulder presses down. Keep pressing the right shoulder down, creating some space along the right side of our neck. And we'll gently release. Chin rolls back to chest. Draw the shoulders down one more time. And then we're going to slowly release the shoulders, bringing the chin back up. And we're going to work on a lot of side to sides today with our wide leg folds. So I want to warm up like our obliques and our back. So we're going to start with some heart circles. So just bringing the chest to the right knee. We're going to circle around and then roll all the way back for a full circle. And just keep rolling around. If you can inhale as you go forward, exhale as you roll back, that's good. If you can't, just do the circles. It doesn't matter. If you're not on my personal page, I did have some really cool winter Colorado pics. Maybe I'll share some here today. I know a lot of people don't travel as much as I do, so I'm actually gonna post our Airbnb and some of the information that we did there. So if anyone is interested in Colorado type trip, I'll have that information. So you can hit me up. My Airbnb was really cool. I think it was only $200 and some a night for a whole cabin, 1 bedroom, fold out couch. So we tend to travel a little affordable, but still have fun. Couple more circles around. And I know you saw my pictures. I have another picture, I think a yoga picture with my new profile picture. We hiked to the Continental Divide all the way up the Rockies. We went as far as they would let us. That wasn't frozen. So almost to the top, very close to the top. Couple more on this side. One more time around, we'll pause in the center. So next time you come to center, just pause, draw the shoulders down. And then we're going to roll opposite side. So we're going to bring chest to left knee and roll it around. And another fun, interesting thing is when you guys had the high wind Saturday, we had them all the way in Colorado. So we were at the top of the Rockies. The wind gusts were 70 miles per hour to 90, and it followed us all the way back to Ohio. So unfortunately, that's why our plane got delayed several times. But we made it, just late. One more time around this direction. We'll pause back in the center again. Draw the shoulders down. Should feel a nice space between your shoulders, a little loosened up in our hips. We're gonna do some seated cat-cows next. I wanna get kind of stretched all the way through our spine and our lower back. So in our seated cat-cows, we're gonna put our hands on our knees, gently fold forward, chin comes up. You'll feel the stretch in your hips and in your lower back. And then we're going to transition to cat, bringing our chin to chest. Belly goes forward. We're arching through our upper back. And then kind of roll from pose to pose, either chin coming up in our cow, chin tucking the chest in our cat. Just take your time. One last set, take your time. Stretching from tailbone all to the base of your neck. We're nice and warmed up. We're gonna go into our wide legs. So we're gonna start with seated wide legs. So taking the legs just as wide as you're comfortable. Toes are gonna go towards the sky. Instantly, as you flex the toes towards the sky, you're gonna feel the stretch along the back of your legs. We're going to start here just by bringing the hands to the floor. Now, if you need a block or a book, you can start here. I like to use the blocks just as we get warmed up this morning. Point the toes to the sky, just warming up our hamstrings and the back of our legs as we start our practice. If it feels too much pointing the toes, that's okay. As the hamstrings warm up, we're going to go a little bit deeper. When you're ready, we're going to take the block just one step forward. Start to feel the engagement in your hips and in your groin. Keep the toes engaged if you can. If you can keep them pointed towards the sky, that's great. If that's too much, just let them loose. We're going to be doing a lot of deep stretches as we head into the winter months, where we'll hold them longer, just because our muscles will tend to be cold as we go into stretches. And I want to make sure no one injures themselves. Nice slow movements to get our body some heat in it to help release our muscles. We'll walk it again another step if you choose. I'm super excited to not have to drive out in the snow this year. We'll be doing them remote, so that'll be nice. You guys can stay in your comfy, warm homes, not have to venture outside. I do have one nighttime restorative for sleep class coming up December, I think 1st at Soul Sisters. That is in Woodville, downtown Woodville, if anyone is interested. The information is on my Facebook page for yoga. It's going to be a nice evening relaxation. I love the studio there, super good vibe, and I'm hoping to do some more classes there through the winter, so check them out. One more step forward if you can. We're going to pause here for a couple breaths. Let the back of the legs release. We're trying to lead with our chest. So if you have a block, your chest is trying to arch towards the block. We don't want to arch through the spine. We want to lift the chest forward, chin goes forward. I'm only saying this because we're going to add to it, and I want to make sure as we twist, you're going to feel okay. So we're going to lead with our chest, And then we're gonna bring the right hand to hip. And then slowly gaze over our shoulder. Adding a spinal twist. And then we're going to bring the right hand back. Pause for a breath. And then the left hand's going to go to the hip. And we're going to gaze over the left shoulder. Sometimes you might be able to crack your back in this one. And then bring the hand back. We'll pause again in the center. You should notice the back of the legs are starting to loosen up. Lower back should have less tension. And then we're gonna walk the blocks back. So we're gonna walk it back one step or your hands. Walk it back again. Start to work your way back up. And then bring it all the way back in. Coming all the way back to seated. We're going to put those blocks to the side if you have them. And just bring the hands to the knees. We're going to start some rotation from side to side. I want to work on your side body and your lower back. So from here, I want you to take your arms right off of the shoulders. We're going to inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, right hand to left toes or to the top of the leg as far as you can go. And we're going to move from side to side. So we go back to center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left hand to right toes. And just moving back and forth, making sure to lift up and then fold. Pausing in the center and then reaching from side to side. Just finishing our seated section, and then we're going to move to a little standing section. We won't be there too long. Couple more. Last one on each side. Take your time. And we'll bring the hands back to the hips. We're going to fold the bottoms of the feet together. A quick butterfly or diamond pose. The knees may be high up. Mine are this morning. They're tight. We're just going to bring the hands to the ankles to where you're comfortable and let the knees release down towards the mat, opening up into your butterfly pose. We don't need to lean forward very far, working on the hips and the lower back. we're going to gently come to standing. I see some comments on here. Let's see if there's any questions. Jumping jacks. I don't know what that is, but okay. Hi, Julie. And we're going to come to wide leg standing. So taking the feet just a little bit wider than the hips. The feet are going to face forward. I'll let you take your time to come into pose. We're going to start by just leaning back, pressing the pelvis forward, opening up through the front of the hips. And then come back to center. We're going to do that a couple times. You want to release the front of the hips first. One more lean back. And we come back to center. If you have a block, you can use it. If not, you can just bring your hands to the mat or use a pillow. I'm going to have you bring that block back to center with hands on the hips. We're going to fold just about halfway down, and when you're halfway, hands to the block. You can either do it on the low height or the high height. I'm going to do the high height today. And we're going to lean back into our heels. As you shift your weight to your heels, maybe your weight was forward on the toes, we're going to shift back to our heels. That's going to engage the back of the legs and our hamstrings where we're working on today. And see if you can fold a little deeper. If you have the block on the high height, maybe put it on the lower. Let the head drop. And then we're going to add a soft bend just into the right knee as we shift over. Feel a stretch on the outside of your leg on your right side as you bend the right knee, coming into almost a side staff position. We're going to feel it on the outside of our right leg from ankle to knee. And then on the straight leg, we're going to feel it from groin all the way down to ankle. And then we're going to bring it back to center, and we're going to add the bend into the left knee. So opposite side, so it'll be the outside of your left calf, and then from groin to ankle on your right side. And we're just going to shift from side to side, adding a soft bend. Working on the inside of our legs. When you're ready, just work your way back to center and a fold here. In your wide leg fold, you have some options. Sometimes I like to let my head rest on the block, fingertips to the mat. From here, you're going to either take your block or your hands over towards your right foot. And we're going to walk both hands over towards our right foot. So if you have the block, it's going to go to the outside of your foot. If you have the hand, it can either go on the ankles or to the mat in front of your foot. I'm going to do the block with you guys. Working on straightening our right leg as we reach over towards the right. You can still have a soft bend in the knee. We're just working on pressing our big toes down to make sure that we're getting the stretch through the whole leg. Let the upper half fold. We're going to slowly walk the block back to center, resettle, and then fold again. If you want to rest the head on the block, you can. You might notice a difference from left and right. My right side feels a lot longer than my left. And we'll even it out. So if you want to bring the block to the outside of the left foot, you can. And then reach the hands over, let the upper half fold. Press the big toe down, making sure you're getting a nice even stretch through your leg. And then walk it back to center one more time. Let the body fold. And we're going to come back to our half lift. So if you need to lift the block up, we're going to come back to that half lift position. Shift your weight into your heels. Should feel a lot less tension across the back of your legs. We're going to add a soft bend into the knees. Hands come to the hips. And we come to standing. Press the hips forward. Lean the head back. And then slowly roll it forward. We're going to walk the feet back in. Woo. Take a little shake. And we're going to work our way down to mat. So we're going to add a few more side to side stretches in before we end class. So coming down to mat. If you want to use a blanket as a pillow, you can. We're going to lay it down for the rest of the class. So bringing your head down, you can put it on a pillow. You can just bring it flat to mat. We're just going to let the knees kind of sway from side to side, releasing our SI joint, the outside of our hips. You feel the muscle that wraps from your spine around your hips to the front. Let the knee sway, let the lower back release. And the knees come back to center. We're going to give them a little squeeze, so bringing the knees up to chest and rock from side to side, releasing more of our lower back. We're going to work our knees over towards the left. So we're going to let just the knees over towards the left. Right arm's going to reach out to the right side. If you have the left knee down to the ground, we're going to extend the top leg. If that's too much, just bring the top leg in. We're going to go into jackknife pose. And if you have the top leg extended, you want to give it some little extra love, we're just going to press right on the outside of your thigh. Give yourself a release from your hip all the way down. Working on an IT band, SI. You might be able to crack your back if you get the stretch far enough. When I do in person, I do the press. You can feel a really nice release from the muscle that goes into your spine and then wraps right around. We'll fold the top leg in if you have it extended. We're going to roll the knees back up, give them a little squeeze. And then we're going to extend the opposite way. So we're going to take the knees over towards the left. If you have the right knee down, you can extend the top leg. If you want to add a little extra, we're going to press down on the thigh. Definitely feel the stretch. You should feel it from the base of your spine and as it wraps around. Let the body release. We'll fold in the top leg. We're gonna roll the knees back up. Give them a little squeeze again. And then we're gonna release the legs up the wall. So heels are towards the ceiling. If you need a little extra, like maybe your legs are a little sore and you don't feel them go all the way up, put a blanket below your spine. It instantly dips your bottom back and your hips into the right position so you can get your legs up the wall. I suggest adding a blanket if you can. Getting an inversion or some reverse blood flow through the body as the heels are going to be pressed up towards the ceiling. So you see I engaged, my toes were up. We're going to press the heels up. You can add an ankle circle with one ankle, or you can do both, adding some movement into our feet and our ankles. If you need a little help, you can grab the back of your thighs, just working. You see I can still add a soft bend or I can straighten, but if you need to keep the soft bend in, that's fine. Then reverse the direction of the ankle circles if you started those. And then press the heels up. Point the toes away. And we're going to bend the knees back in a little from side to side. If you have the blanket underneath it, it feels nice as you roll from side to side, releasing your lower back. And add one more section. We're going to bring the feet back down to mat, and we're going to come in to a bridge pose. So if you're not used to those, we're just going to walk the feet towards the bottom. Knees are going to be towards the ceiling. Hands are going to be down by the side of your hips. And then we're just going to press the hips up. So you can see me first. You should feel an opening in the front of your hips and your thighs. If you want to keep the blanket there for support, you can. Or you can remove that and let the bottom float all the way back down to the mat. We're going to lift in a couple bridges. We're going to do 3. You can stay as long as you want, or you can stay with me. Doesn't matter, as long as you get some kind of stretch out of this bridge. Feet are going to be flat to the mat. Knees are going to be towards the ceiling. The feet are going to help press us up, so make sure they're walked far enough back that you feel supported. And then gently, on an inhale, we're going to lift the hips up. One, 2, 3. Gently float the bottom back down, nice and slow. And we're going to do 2 more. On an inhale, gently lift the hips up, almost like a string is pulling your belly button up to the sky. And then slowly float the bottom back down. Last one, we're going to hold this one for a couple breaths, or if you want to just float it down, that's fine. On an inhale, lift. Feel the opening from your hips, the top of your thighs. And then gently float it back down. Good job. Let the knees kind of wiggle from side to side if you have any tension. We're going to leave the hands down by the hips, and we're going to let the knees just off to the right. Let them both fall down. You should feel an intense stretch right on the outside of your right hip. You're feeling a twist through your lower body. And then we're going to float them to the other side. So just let the knees float down. Chest is towards the ceiling. An intense stretch on your left hip this time. You feel it into your quad. And then knees back to center. We're going to slowly work our way back up to a comfortable seat. If you want to sit on a blanket or a pillow, you can. I'm feeling my pillow this morning. Whew. We're going to come back to our comfortable seat. Hands on top of our knees. Shoulders are far away from the ears. We're just going to check in on ourselves at the end of class. Seeing if we're holding any more tension between our ears and our shoulders. Maybe we were clenching our jaw and we let that release a little bit. Maybe squinting our forehead and we're a little bit more relaxed. Noticing if we release any tension from our spine and our lower back, from our twists and our folds. Maybe the legs folded a lot easier. Take a couple breaths and just notice any changes you feel within yourself as we head to our final breath. Or if there's anything, a little last minute stretch you want to add. And we'll seal today's practice with one last breath. Palms are going to float down towards the floor, fingertips down. Palms facing forward to receive. And as we inhale, we float the hands up. Coming to a full breath at top, palms gently come together. And as we exhale, we're going to draw the hands down our midline, stopping at thumbs to sternum. We pause, give thanks for being able to practice this morning together. I appreciate anyone who logs in now or later. Thank you so much for taking this class. I will see you next week. Namaste if you choose. I'll be a little bit more organized and less a mess next week. I hope you enjoyed this class. I am not even going to show my hair. It looks like I was sleeping on it all night because I was. But I will see you next week. I'll have another class. I think we're going to work on some hips. That's my vibe, but it could change by then. Sometimes if you guys message me and you need anything, I'll add it to next week's class. So message me if there's anything that you want to work on and I will add it. I hope you have a great week. I will see you next week. Bye.